Good afternoon, welcome to Big Chef, Little Chef. I'm Big Chef and this is
Little Chef.
And today we are going to bring you from Prague
Scones scones
with buttermilk.
with buttermilk.
Buttermilk scones, absolutely. And who's this joining us here today, Kira? Could you show to the camera please who this is?
Billy.
This is Billy. Billy wants to learn how to make buttermilk scones.
Yeah.
So if you could leave Billy down there please. So, and you said that it's a she, not a he, so we'll put that over there. So what we have, first of all, the difference between scones and biscuits. In the United States, they call biscuits is basically a savoury version of the British scone. The British or Australian scone is a drier, more flaky version, whereas in the United States, biscuits are a little bit more buttery. There's more butter added and there's no sugar whatsoever added. What we have in front of us here is 360 grams of plain flour. We have 25 grams of castor sugar. We have 18 grams of baking powder, not baking soda, very important. We have 84 grams of butter, which came out of the refrigerator. So it's not rock hard, but it's also not too soft, and that's very important. If it's too soft, it will dissolve into the flour, and we don't want that. We also have half a teaspoon of salt, and over here we have 356 milliliters of buttermilk, which is basically a soured milk. Now, if you don't have buttermilk, you can use the same milliliters of fresh milk and put 3 dessert spoons of lemon juice in there. Just give it a stir, leave it for 2 or 3 minutes, and it will curdle and it will turn the milk sour. And that will make buttermilk. So, Kira, if you can please, over here also, this dish is just the cutter. And one other thing is, because we're here in the Czech Republic, I tried about 3 or 4 different cookery stores to get a scone cutter, which should be around 5 to 6 centimeters, and I could not source one anywhere. So this one is actually an 8 centimeter cutter, which is basically we're making giant scones. If I could source a smaller cutter, I would have. It's the same scone, it's just we're going to get less for the recipe. But I would recommend you to use a cookie cutter of about 5 centimeters, and you can get them with serrated edges, and I'll explain about how we cut them in a bit. So today we have giant scones. Kira, if you can please pour all of the flour, all of it, 3 cups of flour, 360 grams of flour in there. And the next one, the 25 of sugar. And please don't make the mistake that I made last week. I didn't have my containers labeled, and instead of using sugar, I used salt, and I destroyed a complete recipe. So please, and what did you call me? Silly crocodile. Yeah, one of Kira's favorite cartoons. And now, salt. Pour that in, please. There. Oh, you still find it funny? Kira, it's not funny. So we have the 3 dry ingredients in here, and now here, 18 grams of baking powder. Very important not to mix up baking soda with baking powder. Baking soda is a lot more concentrated. And if you don't have baking powder, you can actually make it and dilute it. You can Google that to find out. But basically, either try and source baking powder. Very important. Please pour in the raising agent, and this is very important. What's also key to this recipe is that the ingredients must be cold. That's not cooking yet. This here is the buttermilk. It's just come out of the refrigerator, and the butter is also just come out of the refrigerator. Feel that, Kira? Feel that? See the way it's cold, but not like rock hard, but not liquidy soft. So very, very key to getting a crispy, flaky scone is to use cold butter and cold ingredients. If you can please take this, Kira, and stir the dry ingredients, a palette knife. Give it a good spoon bowl. You need to incorporate, very important, get a good mix around. So,
But why should we do it with a knife?
because you don't want the heat of your hands to overwork the mixture. That's why they normally use a flat edged knife. This here, let me just show the camera. This here is a palette knife. It doesn't have a blade on the side of it. So you normally stir the ingredients with a flat edged knife, because unlike making pastry, you want to try and handle the mixture as little as possible. You just basically need to incorporate all of the ingredients. Once they're incorporated, you mold it with your hands and ready to rock and roll. One other thing I must say, prior to us filming today, I scrubbed down and sanitized and cleaned this table that we're using now, which we're going to roll the scones on. So make sure, let me just take this from you, Kira. You just have to make sure. No, it's okay, it's only a little bit. We're going to use flour on the table anyway.
I don't want it to splash.
Okay, so you hold it with one hand, hold it with this hand.
I didn't even want it to squash it.
That's okay.
I wanted to leave it in the bowl.
In the bowl.
For that, I was doing it slowly.
Okay, so now you're going to like this part, Kara, because you're going to be using your hands. And you've got little hands. So now we're going to take all of the butter. You pour it inside there, please. And with both of your hands, work the butter with the flour and squeeze it together. And basically you want to make a texture like breadcrumbs. So but I'm going to show you, Kira, do it all continuously up and down all the way around. Remember I said we don't want to do it too long. That's it, just keep mixing it around and around.
Okay.
I'll let you do that. And basically we make a texture of like small breadcrumbs before we put in the liquid, which is the sour buttermilk. Traditionally in the United Kingdom, they serve scones with either afternoon tea, which is served on like a stand of different finger sandwiches, and they serve clotted cream, which comes from Cornwall in the southwest of England, and jam. So you have strawberry jam, clotted cream, but they're delicious with any type of jam or marmalade for breakfast. And also, if you want to, you can add maybe, I would say for this recipe, I'd say 56 grams of sultanas, and you can make some nice raisins to add in there. So keep going with that, Kira, all the way through.
Yes, but don't help me.
No. But you have to do it, do you know why? The trick is with making scones, it must be incorporated kind of, yes, like that, exactly.
I'm like, but the butter, smash the butter.
There you go.
Like that.
Very good. No, just both hands and keep going. Now that's teamwork. So we're rubbing between our fingers. You can also, what I like to do is I like to do it between the palms of my hands, like so. Can you keep going, Kira? We can do it together. And slowly the butter is getting incorporated in with the flour. And you'll see in a couple of minutes it'll become like crumbs.
I
No,
don't
keep
want
going.
you to help me, please.
Yeah, good girl. You keep going like that. So now look at this. Watch this, Kira.
Is it ready?
Let me check. So look, do you feel any lumps of butter in there? No. So now you're going to be my assistant for the next part. I just have to make sure now this is the next part you're going to like very much. And I'm going to make a well in the middle. See that, Kira? Look, I make a hole in the middle. And I'm going to take our buttermilk. I'm going to pour it in. But you know what? I'm not going to pour all, I'm going to pour most of it in. Just leave a little bit out, because if it's a little bit too wet, we can add more first. So now with this knife, hold this with your left hand, please, Kira. And with this knife in the right hand, just mix it around. And slowly. Nice and slowly. That's it. Because again, this is where we don't want to use our hands, because we want it to be incorporated.
It's a little bit difficult to do this.
No, it's fine, because what we're doing is, look, we count your hands and look at this. We're going to mix it like that, watch. And it's like we're cutting it. You see what I'm doing? I'm doing the motion like I'm cutting it. That's it.
Let me do it.
Yeah, you do that. Cutting it.
Very good, more.
Very good. Now I'll just take that from there and let's see what's on the bottom. So any dried flour on the bottom. See anything on the bottom?
No.
Not really. Just stand up so I can see what I'm doing, please. Now.
That.
And now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of flour on our table, on the surface. I'll put the flour out here. Put the flour all over the surface of the table.
Today we're going to do like put the masa.
Yes, so now what I'm going to do is,
But it's orange.
but just as a little bit at the end of it. You see the way down at the very bottom when I mixed it there? There was a little bit, so what I'm going to do as well, watch this, just a small amount of my hand, just over the top.
Now let me mix it.
No, it's already now to go out inside. What you're going to do is you're going to cut them, okay? And again, the trick is not to overmix. So now everything will go out on the table. And that's for you. Now what I'm going to do is put a little bit on my hands, watch, Kira. And we're going to mold this, look, Kira. Watching? You watching? Good. And that should be enough. Remember the rule about not over mixing it? That's where the rule applies now. Because you see what we've done is we put all the ingredients together. We make it into like a ball.
But you already washed my hands.
No, you don't need to because you're going to be messing them again. Look, watch. Watch this. Watch, I'm going to pat it down. And again, what I do is I put my cookie cutter and I dip it inside of the flour, which helps it to not stick. And like I say, if we had a smaller cookie cutter, we would obviously have more scones. But we're going to have bigger scones. This is where you come into play, Kira. Can you dip that in the flour? And I would say approximately 2 to 3 centimeters deep for the depth of the scones. So yeah, so please put that to the edge, Kira. And there's one rule as well. When you're putting the cutter, don't twist the cutter, because if you twist it, then the scones will rise unevenly. You must keep it. So what we'll do is we put left hand, we put it down there. Now we don't twist it. Just put pressure on it, Kira. Put your hands on and push.
I don't have.
And that's it. But a lot of pressure, like that. And the trick is not to twist it. You do not want to twist it. So I've just pushed that all the way down. I leave it. I lift it up. Now again, wait, we need to dip it in the flour, dip it in the flour. Big dip, and put it next to that one. Next to it. Just,
Let me.
there we go. And big push, and don't twist. Very good. Excellent. And don't lift it up.
I'm
You have to
not
make sure,
going to do that.
now you can lift it up. Excellent. And then dip in the flour again.
I'm going to do the scones all by myself. You won't
And
help.
now we'll just do another one over here. Big push down with a very lot of pressure.
I don't need your help.
Okay. Very good. And now dip back in the flour. Very good. Back into the flour. And I think we can get one more out of this side. Big push down, no twisting. Now, now that we've finished, I'm going to get the palette knife again. We're going to lift the scones, like so. We're going to put them on the baking. These are a little bit difficult to lift because it's very sticky, but you can cut out the next ones. We're also going to put the scones kind of close together, which means they actually help each other when they're in the rising.
Please, can I do it?
Yeah, you lift one up. Very good. And we'll put them close like that.
I want to do it like you.
Okay, do that one. Oh, very good.
Well, I want.
See, but now we've got more to do. So now what do we do with
I wanted
the leftover mixture? You need to mix that again, Kira, watch. And just push it together. Push it together in the bowl, but not over mix it. You know the rule about not over mixing?
Yeah.
That's it, now it's ready. So I'm just going to put this down here. Look, watch. And you get the cutter ready. You have the cutter in the flour. Good.
Why are you mixing?
Because no, I'm not mixing. I'm just getting it ready for you to do the cutting. Right to the edge. Excellent. Fantastic. Close together. And we're going to move this over here now, Kira. And we've kept some buttermilk out. We're going to take a pastry brush, and if you can paint the top of them. And now the other one. You did that one very good. You can dip it back in there. Very good. So they're going to go into the oven now. And we'll come back to you in a few minutes and we'll see some delicious cooked scones. Fortunately, we will only have 7 instead of 12. That's enough. You don't want to overdo it. That's good.
Doing it.
That's perfect. So now it's good. Now, if you want to jump over there, Kira, wash your hands. We're going to bake these for 15 minutes in an oven at 200 degrees Celsius. What I've done is I put a roasting pan of water in the bottom of the oven, which creates steam. If I didn't do that, you would bake them for 220 degrees for 15 minutes. So now we're just going to take just careful of the heat here. We're going to take the scones out of the oven. Oh, yeah, good job. And chuck that back up there. Oh, very nice. Yeah. And there we have them. Buttermilk scones. Very, very nice. Now, because these are giant scones, but because I said earlier we used an 8 centimeter cutter, had the cutter been a 5 centimeter cutter, as it should have been, the scones wouldn't be as wide, they would be a little bit higher as a tower, but these are still perfectly cooked. They're absolutely delicious. I can see from the base that they're absolutely, you can tell, they're cooked all the way through. It's just unfortunate that we didn't have a 5 centimeter cutter to get them more perfect in the aligned shape that I would have wanted. Okay. And here we have buttermilk scones. Today, Kira picked out this jam. Which one is this, Kira? A mixed berry. So we serve this with butter. These are still very warm. Butter and mixed berry jam, or you can use whipped cream. And like I say, they came out perfect. As I can see, the color is perfect. The base of them is perfect. The only thing that I'm not happy with is the fact that we had the wrong size cutter, which means that they're just a little bit wider, so they didn't rise as high as I would have liked them. But they're absolutely perfect. So try and source a 5 centimeter cutter. And basically, that's it from Prague. And until the next time, from Big Chef, Little Chef, I'd like to say goodbye.
Bye bye.
And a high five. Okay, bye.
Bye.